Hello, welcome everybody. Here Daniel with Driving Solutions. Today we are going to connect our project, our App Engine Studio project to our GitHub. And it's pretty easy to do. So there's a few steps. So the first step we want to do is we want to log into our ServiceNow instance. So we will go over all these steps. So stay tuned. All right, so once you're logged into your ServiceNow instance, we're also going to log into your GitHub. Make sure you go into your GitHub, and we're going to create a new repository. So if you go to your home page, then you can go into repositories, and then you can click on new. So you're going to name your repository name. You name this anything that's that you're going to name your project. It could be the same project. You can decide to make it public or private, and you can also set some type of license on it. And once you create your repository, so I just created one. I'm going to go back to my repositories here. So we can go into our repository here. So we created one, it's called Hot Tracks. So here is our empty repository. So it's a public one. The next thing you got to do is you got to go to your settings on the top right here. All right, so actually I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so we can take a look. All right, so we zoomed in. So we go here to settings, and then right below my face here, let me move myself. So right here it says settings. We click on settings, and then we're gonna go all the way down here on the left side where it says developer settings. Okay, and we can create our personal access token. Okay, and they're recommending to create a fine grain token. Okay, so we can create this. So basically you generate a new token and you name it. Name your new token. It can be the same name as the app. So you name your token, and then you can set the expiration. You can go all the way out to 1 year. So you can just go all the way to 1 year here. You can set it at different expiration dates. The max is 1 year. You can put a description, who has access to it, and then you can do only selected repositories. Then you can pick the repository that you want to give access to. And then here you set the permissions. I believe the permissions that you're going to need for to manage it is the administration. So you can do read and write for administration. So that's creation, deletion, settings, teams, collaborators. Let me see what else. Oh no, actually it's contents. Yeah, I think it's contents. So this one says commits, branches, downloads, release, merges. So you can do them both, contents and administrative. All right, so once you have your permissions, you don't have to do account permissions. This is more for like the account itself. And then you generate your token, okay? Once you generate your token, it gives you a token number here. All right. So then that's going to be what you're going to use now. So if we go back to ServiceNow, we can now go, all right, let me zoom in here a little bit. So we can look up credentials, and under connection and credentials, we can click here on credentials, and we can create a new credential. So if you create a new credential, it could be a basic authenticate auth credential, a basic auth credential, and then you're gonna name it. So you can name it something that makes sense to you, and then you can put your user ID. What was my user ID? All right, so to find your user ID, you can just go back to your profile. And it's going to be your user ID here. And then you paste in that key. So dream. That's your user ID. And then you paste in the token you just generated. Make sure it's active. And that's how we save our new credential. Okay. So from App Engine Studio, now we can go here to source code. Once you go into your App Engine Studio, you can go to your link to source code. So then we're going to go back to our GitHub repository. And we're going to open up our new repository. And we're going to click here where it says code. And it gives you the URL. We'll copy that. So it's HTTPS. So we put our repository name. Then this, I believe it creates a new branch. So it's already set up like that. Or you can rename this something. And then if you want to include an email, and then here we're going to select our credential. We're going to try this one. This is a new credential we just set up. So it's linking to source control, right? So if everything goes good, it gives you a good message. If you have an issue, if you're missing permissions, then it will let you know that you're missing permissions. It's bouncing up and down. Right, so if something was wrong, it would have tell you by now, but it's going through the permissions here. And let me just move me outside of the way. All right, so it says successfully committed. All right. Okay, so now if we go back to our GitHub, we see that I created a new branch with our instance name. Okay, so now we can go in here and we can compare and pull requests. So we need to accept this new pool. So it says it's able to merge. Okay, it says initial state of application at link source control. Right, so we can put a description here. Created new branch with ServiceNow App Engine Studio. All right, so we can just go ahead and create that pull request. All right, so we got the pull request and it's checking. All right, so now we can merge, no conflicts. So we merge and we are merging. Boom. So now if we go back to our main repository, we should see our folder in here. Okay, and this folder has all the updates from our project. Okay, so now this could be somebody can go in there and clone it, right? And they can upload it to their own instance. right? So if we go back to our hot tracks, now we have some options here. See, it says we can create a new branch. So if you are doing this from a new instance, you can go and pull from a repository, or actually you're going to import the project first. So it's pretty much the same process, but if you go here to home, see it says import app, and then you connect to the branch, or you connect to our repository with this right here, and then it's gonna create a branch for it. So it's the same like branch. So this number will be different for you because your instance is gonna have a different name. And basically you gotta make sure you have connection to your own GitHub, right? And then that will import it. And then you can see all of our updates in here. Okay. So whenever we make a change now, so whenever we make a change from our own project, so when I make a change here, I can now, so if I make a change, yeah, I haven't make any changes yet, but if we make any changes, then this button here is gonna commit changes. So we can commit our new changes, and then that's gonna send it up to the GitHub, and then we can approve those pull requests, and it will update the project in that branch. Okay? And then we can merge that branch to the main one. All right, so there you have it. So that's how you can back up your instance to GitHub, your App Engine Studio projects, and that will back up everything in the scope. Okay, so anything you create in that scope. Now, things you create outside of the scope in global, I think they don't get backed up that way, but I think you can create an update set that you can include those changes also. Right? So if that helped in any way, please let me know. If you have any questions, or if there's anything that you can give me advice and make it better, definitely let us know. Now, just to do a quick recap, from the last time we had our project, a few things we created. We created modules. So if we go to hot tracks here, we have the hot tracks modules, and we can see all the tables here. So we have our competitors, all of our past competitors here from our tournament. So we have our drivers, we got their info, and we also have the wheels are all of our cars that we had. So we can we created our drivers, and then we added the cars that they chose, and we made those connections here. So we were able to use our app to easily import all this data, and then each race that they competed was tracked with the amount of races, how many times they won the race, how many matches did they win, and the points. Okay. And we have the information of the vehicle here. So we didn't have any car numbers set, or we didn't weight them, but here we can see that okay, so this one actually was in track, this one didn't compete. And then also, but if we pick one that did compete, like this one, let's see, we can see the races that the matches that they had, and the different races that they raced, and their times, and what tournament that they fall under. Also, we updated our flow. So this ran up before the update, but now, according to the fastest time, we are updating our fastest time field. So just to have a quick view of that. Let's see if we have one here that's empty. All right. This one, I don't know what happened with this, but the the next thing we need to fix is so we don't have the same car in both places. We don't want that. But I'm gonna quickly update this one and see if we can fix this race. So let's say we want to run these two here. Let's see, Mario. Okay, so Mario. Okay, so the other thing we have is we created a client script that will automatically select our lanes, so you can't select the same lane. So we have two client scripts, and if you change one or the other, it will automatically change the other one. And we got our times. So if we pick our times here, okay, we still haven't accounted for a draw, but all right, so that's race number 0. All right, so let's see if this works here. So we have our race, and we have a winner. Okay, this was a single wins to advance. It was 1, and so we do have the fastest time. It picks up from our flow. It updates our stage. So if there's only one race to run, it updates it, and then it moves it on to the next round. Okay. If you go down here, we should see another round for the car. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clear this out pretty soon so we can have a correct working workflows. But as far as it is right now, pretty complete. A few things we gotta fix was what did we just talk about? We talked about, okay, so accounting for a draw, okay, accounting for the racers not to be the same racers. We also, I noticed that that our titles were no good, so we fixed that. So we now have a good title for each race, and it counts the races correctly. For the tournament, what we want to do also is we do have another script here that will give us the total competitors. I would like this to always show on display and as you change it. So maybe we can add it on display or unload total competitor number that will show it at the beginning, and we already have one that's unchanged. So we want to know how many competitors. Then we also want to make sure that the cars, the total, this is like the total cars that should be competing, and our competitors, when it reaches that and we save it, then it will move us to ready. Okay, so if it's in draft, we're setting it up. We got the amount of cars that we need. We got a track. We got everything, all the required information. Then when we save it, then it will show ready, and then our start tournament button will also show up. Okay, so those are a couple requirements that we're gonna add on our next update. All right, so I think those are the things. So, oh, and then also from our races. Okay, so let me leave that. So if we are in one of these races, then when it's done, when we have a winner, then maybe we'll get a button here that will take us to our next race. So we don't have to go back to, to the tournament or to the matches. We can just click and it will take us to our next race in that order. So do round 1, match 3, and then when it's match 3 is done, then it'll take us to the match 4, right? So maybe we can have a button. So on the workspace, I was able to kind of like give us the number of matches that are ready to go, right? So if we look at our workspace numbers here, I wonder, oh man, why did it not? Okay, this didn't save. Oh, I guess it didn't save, but there should have been another element in here that will show us the next races. Right? So I think those are a few things. After that, probably have to work on some type of graphic interface. And I don't think this is what we want. I don't want this dashboard. I mean, okay, this workspace, but maybe I would like kind of like a web page that we can put on a screen, and it just shows us like some of the stats, kind of like live stats, who's racing, maybe the rankings, the previous races. So kind of like something that's up to date as the races go by. And then the other thing I wanted to see if we can figure out was using some type of technology. Okay, so some type of outside technology that we can put to a webcam. So we can put a webcam on our finish line, and the finish line has the numbers, right? It gives us lane 1 and lane 2 times. So perhaps we can start the race ends, and then the camera will pick up those numbers. We can enter the numbers manually, but if we can pick up the numbers from there, from like a visual cue, right? The other thing that we can do is maybe the finish line is an Arduino type of device, and if it can send a message to ServiceNow, and it gives the times, right? That device doesn't have Wi-Fi, and it does have Ethernet, but the Ethernet connects to the start gate, which activates the launch. Basically, it drops the pins, so we can't really use that. And the USB powers the device, so there's no like other inputs for it. Otherwise, if we add something, which I'm not sure how to do, but I think the easiest thing is like kind of like I got a couple of these Logitech webcams, so we can like put a webcam that it doubles as a webcam that we can see the finish line, but also maybe we can like gather that time from there, you know. So maybe that could work. We'll see. All right, but so far this is what we have, and this is our work space view. Our workspace view has like a lot of this information. So this was our winner from last time. We got our funny car. Funny car is super fast, right? He got the fastest time. He in the first tournament, the live tournament, he did get beat by Luigi, believe it or not. But he didn't warm up. Like it was his first race, and Luigi just he didn't got a good start. So we did all the races again, and definitely he beat everybody twice. So that's our number one. I haven't measured what's the weight on him. but Yoshi had has about the same weight. All right, so this is interesting. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll go ahead and end up this live for now, and hope you guys enjoy that. And if you have any questions, just write us in the comments below, and give a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, sign up. And I just want to encourage you to seek the Lord. The Lord is good, and forever His mercy. God bless you.